Hello, everyone. Today on Good Morning Maine, police believe they've found a serial killer who murdered a Maine woman and many others.
Plus, from extreme heat to deadly flooding, the wild summer weather continues to cause problems around the nation.
And they were playing board games all weekend long for a great cause in Surrey.
Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith.
And I'm Craig Colson. Thank you for joining us on this Monday morning. We'll have all the day's news coming up. But first, a check of that forecast. And here we are on another Monday and talking about kind of the same thing. Hey, let's take a look at that picture. We have a live picture coming from us from Milo up on Trafton Falls. If we could take a look at that. I guess we don't have that. Never mind. If you could see it, it was raging water up there. Boy, we've had so much rain lately that all the streams and that sort of things are just kind of swollen at this point. And as we hear a little later on in the show, we've had a lot of flooding down in southern Maine. Not a lot, but some roadways are closed today. And the further you go in New England, I mean, it's just a terrible situation. Some deadly results from some of the flooding down there.
Yeah, it seems like there's been flash flood warnings in certain parts of the state. At least the National Weather Service issued that advisory yesterday.
And we have a chance for more storms this week coming up.
Yeah, so let's check in with Devin Biggs for that forecast.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Monday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Scott's Recreation, New England's largest trailer dealer, home of Maine's lowest camper and tractor prices, with locations in Turner, Manchester, Herman, and Orono, Maine. Let's get into things this morning. A small crowd advisory remains posted until 11 a.m. One of the few advisories still in effect, though. We had some flood alerts low along the coast and pretty much across the state yesterday and early this morning. Those have since been dropped, so now we're just watching some wave height issues. That'll drop later this morning. We do have areas of dense fog developing out there this morning near Waterville and areas to the south and west. Bar Harbor noticing some fog as well, so keep that in mind. You will encounter some areas of dense fog as you do make that morning commute, but otherwise so. Here's the rain tracking from the southwest going to the north and east. No lightning with it, just some heavy downpours at times. The coverage is starting to back off, so as the day progresses on, we'll calm down. The sun may also come out for a while, but then a slight chance for a few afternoon storms cannot be ruled out either. Let's zoom things out and give you the bigger picture. Nothing too crazy going on otherwise. With that line of storms going over the ocean now, we have the rain going over us, and again, just that slight chance for a storm again later this afternoon. So Futurecast helping to show things clearing out. That little pop-up chance there. And then partly cloudy later on tonight with areas of dense fog on the way. It looks to be rather widespread, so we may have to watch that closely. But our early forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period. Decreasing clouds for a while. Pop-up shower or storm can't be ruled out in the afternoon either. Temperatures in the 80s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma.
All right, thank you, Devin. Well, Brewer police are asking for assistance in a hit-and-run investigation. On Saturday at around 8:30 p.m., Brewer police officers responded to a car accident involving a pedestrian getting hit. The individual was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. The vehicle that struck the person had fled the scene on Eastern Avenue towards Holden, before police even showed up. According to police findings, the vehicle is either a Toyota Camry, somewhere between the years of 2020 and 2023, or perhaps a Toyota Avalon, silver in color. Due to the incident, it should have some damage to the front passenger side rather. If you have any information about the incident, you are asked to contact the Brewer Police Department at 989-7001.
Authorities continue to look for answers following a deadly crash during a road race. Emergency crews were called to the Forest Rally race in Oxford County on Friday. One of the race cars had failed to make a turn on the course and ended up striking a tree. 48-year-old Aaron Kelly of Marshall, Virginia, was killed in the crash. The accident happened near Lower Richardson Lake during a race where drivers speed along logging trails and forest roads. As a result of the crash, the second day of the rally was canceled on Saturday. Authorities are now trying to figure out how the driver lost control.
In other news, a very close call for two people riding in a vehicle in Long Pond Township. Both survived after striking a moose early Saturday morning. According to Jackman Moose River Fire and Rescue, the vehicle struck the moose before going off the roadway and into some trees. Both received non-life-threatening injuries and walked to a nearby home to call for help. Rescuers say it's a good reminder to be careful while driving through moose country at night. They can be very hard to see when it's dark.
Now to New York and the Gilgo Beach serial killings. A suspect described as a demon and an ogre is in custody, ending for now a years-long search. The suspect is facing multiple murder charges, including for the killing of Megan Waterman of Maine, who was last seen at a Long Island motel before she vanished in June of 2010. Now, prosecutors are trying to build their case and possibly link him to more of the killings. Here's ABC's Rihanna Nally.
This morning, a new search for evidence in the case against suspected Gilgo Beach serial killer Rex Heuermann. Investigators on Long Island, New York, combing through this storage unit as they build their case against the 59-year-old architect and married father, accused of killing 3 women more than a decade ago and suspected of killing a 4th.
This is clearly a sick and depraved human being, somebody who is taunting victims.
Crime scene detectives were seen at Heuermann's home this weekend. Sources say investigators are hoping to find so-called trophies from the victims, such as earrings or locks of hair. They're also looking for evidence that could link him to 6 other local murders.
We're going to see if he's involved with the other deaths, and if not, then we'll continue to go after those that committed these crimes and hold them accountable.
Investigators say Heuermann was hiding in plain sight. The case took a new turn last year when a task force of investigators took a fresh look at the evidence. They linked Heuermann to a Chevy truck registered to him at the time of the murders, and similar to one reported by a witness when one of the victims disappeared in 2010. That witness described the suspect to police as appearing like an ogre. Earlier this year, a surveillance team recovered a pizza box with crusts still inside, which they say Heuermann had thrown out. They say DNA from the crusts matched a hair that was found on one of the victims. Meanwhile, associates of Heuermann are now coming forward, one sharing a voicemail she got from him.
Hey, this is Rex.
Dominique Vidal was in a professional networking group with Heuermann. She says the two once talked about true crime podcasts.
And he asked me if I had a favorite case. And then he asked me if I knew about the Gilgo Beach murders.
Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
22-year-old Megan Waterman of Scarborough was named as the victim from Maine. She had been working as a sex worker when she vanished. Hers was one of 11 bodies found along the beach there. In other news, police are searching for a man who allegedly robbed a convenience store Sunday morning. According to a release from the Augusta Police Department, it was around 4:08 a.m. on Sunday morning. Stone Street, it happened at Stone Street in Augusta. An unidentified white male entered the Big Apple store and demanded an undisclosed amount of money and merchandise. Police have described the suspect as approximately 5 feet 10 inches tall, maybe 6 feet, weighing 160 to 200 pounds. He was wearing a black sweatshirt, black sneakers, and light-colored pants. Police say the suspect fled the scene before officers arrived. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Augusta Police Department's Criminal Investigation Bureau at 626-2370.
The WVII Police Department has made arrests after a months-long investigation into drug trafficking. Saturday morning, the WVII Police Department, with the assistance of the Penobscot County Sheriff's Office Special Response Team, executed a search warrant on Hobson Avenue in WVII. Police say 4 arrests have been made as a result of the search warrant. Richard Curtis and Christopher Mansell, both of WVII, and Angel Allen and George Purvis, both of Bangor. Purvis has been charged with 2 counts of unlawful possession of scheduled drugs.
We're a small community, but unfortunately drug trafficking impacts us as well. We take these very, very seriously. If you're aware of suspected activity occurring in your neighborhood, please reach out to the WVII Police Department. As you can see today, we do take these serious.
Police say various amounts of drugs were recovered during the search, including mushrooms, prescription drugs, marijuana, and fentanyl. The main drug enforcement agency, WVII Fire Department, and Orno Ambulance also assisted at the scene. The investigation is ongoing, and additional charges are expected.
A Vassalboro home was damaged by fire after vehicle fire spread out of control. It was just after 8 o'clock Friday night when firefighters were called to a residence on Hussey Hill Road for reports of a structure fire. However, responding firefighters quickly realized it was actually a vehicle covered in heavy flames only 10 feet from that home. Winslow Fire Department assisted with a tanker and crew because it was beyond the reach of fire hydrants. Despite the severity of the fire, firefighters extinguished the flames within minutes. The exterior of the home sustained damage, but we're told it remains livable. No injuries are reported.
The Movie Rocket Theatre on the Odlin Road in Bangor is closed until further notice. The announcement came via the theatre's Facebook page on Friday, stating that the temporary closure comes due to unforeseen circumstances. The theater, which is known for its affordable movie-going experience, has not shared their reasons for closing at this time. Although a sign on the door states the business is closed for repairs, it's unclear when the location will be reopening.
Kind of a bummer for people who want to go to the cheap seats, right?
I know.
Yeah.
It's one of the options in Bangor. I believe that's one of the two.
Yeah, we'll keep you updated on that.
Yep. All right, the time now is 6:10, and coming up next on Good Morning Maine, how a board game convention in Surrey will help a local community center continue to grow.
But first, another check of that weather forecast. A partly cloudy day with just a chance of thunderstorms later on. The highs will be up near 84 degrees. Partly cloudy overnight with a chance of fog. Lows down in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, another mostly cloudy day on the way with thunderstorms. The highs around 83.
Did you know that motorcyclists are 27 times more likely to die in a motor vehicle crash than passenger vehicle occupants? Motorcycles can be hard to see. We need to look twice to save a life. Let's watch for motorcycles and share the road. Please remember to leave extra room when following motorcycles, and to check in your rearview mirrors and blind spots, and to be extra careful when making left-hand turns. Remember, your actions can save lives. The Maine Bureau of Highway Safety reminds you to look twice to save a life.
Whether you're hurt by a landscaping truck like this, a work van like this, or any commercial vehicle, we know how to get you the big money you may deserve.
Hurt by a commercial vehicle? Call the twos. We win for you.
Good morning, America.
All the nonsense
Fibber.
meets no nonsense.
I don't buy it.
Judge Judy.
Weekdays at 5 on ABC 7.
Are you game?
Let's go. Come on.
To take a spin.
I am ready. Tell me what you got.
To make a guess.
Hilarious punchline.
You got it. Whoa.
To take a trip.
To Maui.
To win it all.
Parting ways.
Then take a spin on the Wheel of Fortune.
Weekdays at 7 on ABC 7.
The Gatherings Community Center in Surrey held their first ever AcadiaCon, where community members got together to play a wide variety of board games. It was also part of the center's mission to raise funds to accommodate the center's growth. Rain or shine, the event lasted all weekend, and our Grace Blanchard got to roll the dice. Let's see if she got lucky.
Board games are certainly not a thing of the past, as this community center is trying to encourage more people to join in on the fun.
Well, we have a regular board game meetup every Sunday night here, and a few of us were thinking it would be fun to do something a bit bigger.
Board game conventions are happening all across the country, and organizers say they are growing in popularity as the games become more modern.
Things have changed a lot since Monopoly and Scrabble. Games got really awesome in the last few decades.
The board variety, they're amazing. There's quite a few different genres,
A lot of the board games came from the Ellsworth Gaming Guild.
Yeah, we brought probably about 40 or 50 games from our library. Quite a few other people brought some too from their personal libraries and whatnot, because there's at least 100, 200 games here.
It seemed like a fun thing to do, a perfect day to be playing games, and we've always wanted to come to the gatherings. It seemed like a great community space, and we like board games.
And donations collected at the convention will be going towards their parking lot project.
We have a serious problem outside with parking. We only have about 9 parking spots, and as the community centre has grown in popularity, there's really not enough space for everyone to park safely.
They plan to have more fundraising events in the near future and hope to bring this convention back as well. In Surrey, Grace Blanchard, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Looks like a good time. Well, the Friends and Family Market in Ellsworth hosted a fundraiser in support of the Loaves Fishes Food Pantry. The partnership with Darlings, who brought their ice cream truck along, and Shell, which featured a NASCAR car on display for the public to enjoy, was put together by the market. Organizers say events like this are great opportunities to give back to the local community.
The pantry receives no government funding of any kind, so we rely entirely on the generosity of the community. Thankfully, this is a very giving community.
Anytime we can help generate some money for the local community, that's awesome.
Well, according to a representative from Shell, they travel all across the country with their show car and are happy to help local communities when they can. All proceeds from the fundraiser will go directly to Loaves and Fishes Food Pantry. For more information about getting involved with the pantry, you can visit our website at foxbangor.com.
Nice new shots of their new building there.
Yeah.
I drove by it for the first time going to the beach last week, and I was like, nice. I'm glad they're in that location
Very
now.
nice. Yeah.
Yep. All right, the time now is 6:16. After the break, we'll have an update on the extreme weather that continues on in different forms across the country.
That and more as Good Morning Maine continues.
Saliba's Rug Cleaners in Bangor is the best and only spot you should go to for your rug cleanings. Serving Maine for more than 70 years, we care about your rugs. Clean rugs last longer, and our family takes pride in being the professionals that you can trust. Our cleaning process consists of soaking your rug in a bath, shampooing, rinsing, and drying in a humidity-controlled dry room, making sure no detail is overlooked. Need a repair? We fully service every type of rug for you. Saliba's Rug Cleaners.
We care about your rugs.
ABC 7, Fox 22, Healing Hands Massage, and Urban Air Adventures want to send you to see the Kids Bomb Never Stop live tour. Saturday, July 22nd at the Maine Savings Amphitheater in Bangor. Sign up to win tickets by registering at Healing Hands Massage in Hamden, providing professional massage services, and Urban Air Adventures, Bangor's best indoor amusement destination. Win tickets to see Kids Bomb July 22nd on the Bangor waterfront.
A texting driver hit me and I had to stop working. I needed help, but the insurance company only offered me this tiny check.
This tiny check won't even cover my medical bills.
After a car accident, don't take a tiny check from the insurance company. Call the twos.
I didn't take a tiny check. I called the twos, and Lowry and Associates got me over $350,000.
Call the twos. We win for you.
If you're hurt in an accident, what do? Call 222-2222.
Killer storms and deadly heat are looming over tens of millions of Americans. As dangerously high temperatures claimed more lives, raging floodwaters brought a family outing to a tragic end. Here's ABC's Andrew Dimbert.
The death toll is expected to rise after a flash flood outside of Philadelphia. 5 people were killed, and overnight 2 children were still missing, including a 9-month-old boy and 2-year-old girl.
Miraculously, Dad and his son were able to get safely. However, the grandmother, the mother, and the 2 children were swept away by the floodwaters. We have recovered the mother, and she is one of the deceased.
Authorities in Bucks County say the family was visiting from South Carolina when their vehicle got swept away by the floodwaters.
That could have been any one of us leaving our house and just going to the grocery store or something.
The heat turning deadly in San Diego County. Police say a biker died after trying to help hikers who had no food or water. 14 states are under heat watches and warnings today. El Paso, Texas has seen triple-digit temperatures for 30 consecutive days. 4 people at a car show had to be taken to the hospital for heat exposure. A biologist in neighboring New Mexico is warning about the impact on wildlife, telling NPR that birds are struggling to adapt.
The birds that are most susceptible to heat stress are just going to be gone.
In the Northeast, country star Jason Aldean had to cut short a concert in Connecticut because of the heat.
It was pretty intense last night at the show. Anybody that was at the show knows how hot it was.
And now, smoke from the historic wildfires burning in Canada is triggering more air quality alerts. Dense smoke is expected over the eastern Great Lakes and parts of New York and Pennsylvania, while hazy skies are expected for much of the Northeast today. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
Boy, it's just awful all around the country. Here in Maine, it looks like kind of more unsettled weather again. Not a big washout or anything, but every day brings more chances of showers and thunder showers.
Yeah, flash flood warnings in Milo yesterday.
Yeah.
Crazy. Let's get a full look at that forecast with Devin Biggs.
Alrighty, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Scott's Recreation, New England's largest trailer dealer, home of Maine's lowest camper and tractor prices. With locations in Turner, Manchester, Herman, and Orono, Maine. Alrighty, here we go. Small craft advisories. The only advisory we have our eye on, at least at this point, though, the flood alerts, though, that are up across a good part of the state have since been dropped as of 6 a.m. this morning. So things are improving in that department. The wave heights will start to improve as well. Here's some areas of dense fog that's developed out there this morning near Bar Harbor, to Rockland, and areas to the north and west of that. So pretty much the western parts of Maine and even further off to the south and east, and kind of hit and miss, are noticing some areas of dense fog this morning. So keep that in mind as you make that morning commute. But otherwise, though, some showers developing out there still. Some decent rainfall last night and early this morning. Now we're starting to back that off. No lightning with it, though. There's some rainfall, and now that's starting to back off. The sun will come out for a while. Then a pop-up shower or storm cannot be ruled out during the afternoon period. Here's the cold front right here, tracking off to the east, taking the clouds away with it. A little bit more activity out toward the west. I'll take a bit to get here, though, but again, a pop-up shower or storm cannot be ruled out during the afternoon period. So futurecast for today as we move forward, things start to clear out of here. Here's a pop-up shower or storm chance. Then it starts to back off later on tonight. Partly cloudy tonight with some areas of dense fog on the way. Then that gets out of here. Then some clouds moving again and scattered showers and storms in a few parts of the state during the afternoon period, especially in the northern parts. Then the southeastern parts of the state can see a little bit as well as we head towards early Wednesday morning. As for the rainfall, nothing impressive throughout the daytime period today. It will be very hit and miss at best, so less than a tenth of an inch for some areas that might notice a little bit of rain. And throughout the rest of the week as well, not as much rain on the way, so definitely looking like it'll be a little bit drier, especially after all the rain that we've seen rather recently. Otherwise, so dew points still remain rather high, lower 70s on the way for dew points, at least for parts of the daytime period today. But notice, so starting to back off a bit, at least through Thursday, then rising again as we head towards Friday and also in your Saturday. So your forecast for today, partly cloudy, a pop-up thunderstorm cannot be ruled out with highs in the mid-80s and south wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. By tonight, though, mid-60s, partly cloudy, areas of dense fog on the way with the wind overall looking nice and calm. For tomorrow, mostly cloudy. Chances for thunderstorms exist with highs in the lower 80s and south wind getting up to around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Scott's Recreation extended forecast. There are some chances for storms Tuesday and Wednesday. We're dry Thursday with highs in the lower 80s and a partly cloudy sky. More chances for storms on Friday with highs in the upper 70s.
Every night is pizza night at Dragonfire Pizza. From wings, salads, and sides to our specialty wood-fired pizzas. You'll find everything you need to satisfy any craving by the slice or by the pie. A little slice of heaven is waiting for you at Dragonfire Pizza, Mill Mall, Ellsworth.
Goose River Farm and Meat Store is conveniently located on Route 3 across from Hammond Lumber in Belfast. They have a wide selection of meat and poultry, including beef, pork, lamb, chicken, duck, rabbit, and turkey. Buy your steak and meats for grilling this summer.
Make your waterfront even more fun and more functional than it already is with a Shoremaster premium dock system from Hammond Lumber Company. Hammond is the country's largest stocking Shoremaster dealer, with standing docks, rolling docks, floating docks, and boat lifts for any watercraft. Shoremaster's nearly limitless customization options make it easy to create the perfect dock system for your needs. Take your shoreline to the next level with Shoremaster from Hammond Lumber Company.
ABC 7, Fox 22, Mainly Eyes, and River's Edge Chiropractic want to send you to see the Kids Bop Never Stop Live Tour, Saturday, July 22nd at the Maine Savings Amphitheater in Bangor. Sign up to win tickets by registering at Mainly Eyes in the Bangor Mall. Your #1 choice for eye care and eyewear. Mainly Eyes. You'll see the difference. And River's Edge Chiropractic Wellness Center in Old Town. Win tickets to see Kids Bop, July 22nd on the Bangor waterfront.
One epic night. Godsmack and Stained. Live. July 25th. Maine Savings Amphitheater, Bangor, Maine. Godsmack and Stained.
Been a while.
On sale now. Buy tickets at waterfrontconcerts.com or ticketmaster.com.
I'm telling you on my roof.
Godsmack and Stained. Live.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back, everyone. The race for the White House is now in full swing as Republican candidates spent the weekend in early primary states. This as ABC News learns of a major shakeup in Florida Governor Ron DeSantis' campaign. And the 2024 candidates just released the latest fundraising figures, giving some new insight into where things stand now across the board. ABC's M. Wynn has the latest from Washington.
The 2024 presidential race is fired up, now less than 6 months out from the key Iowa caucuses. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis defending a major shakeup and shift in strategy for his campaign after sources say he fired roughly a dozen staffers with more dismissals expected. The team apparently navigating a cash crunch after hiring too many staffers early on.
We raised more money than Donald Trump did into his campaign, who of course was the former president, and yet they try to spin that negatively.
In Florida, GOP frontrunner Donald Trump taunting DeSantis for even entering the race.
And his establishment handlers are wasting such precious time and resources to divide the party.
The former president has yet to commit to the first Republican presidential primary debate in August, something his most vocal challenger, former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, called cowardice.
Come on, Donald, get on the stage and defend your record. You know, if you want to be the nominee, you need to defend your record.
This as candidates release their latest fundraising figures. Trump raking in over $15 million, DeSantis with over $20 million, though he relied on big dollar donors. Candidates like Nikki Haley and Tim Scott in the middle of the pack. Christie netting just $1.6 million and Mike Pence at just over $1 million. Each of the GOP hopefuls vying to take on President Biden, who raised close to $20 million in the second quarter. One of his staunchest allies pointing to any third-party candidates as a hindrance after a group formed and is raising money on the idea of a unity ticket.
It is a fool's errand to think that a third party can win in this country. They will be a spoiler.
Biden's campaign closed the quarter with more than $20 million cash on hand, which is about even with Trump and rising GOP hopeful Senator Tim Scott. M. Wynn, ABC News, Washington.
The Biden administration is appealing a court ruling that limits its contact with social media companies. The Fifth Circuit Court has at least temporarily removed a ban on the Biden administration from contacting social media sites about posts that are unprotected under the First Amendment. The initial ruling suggested the administration was potentially engaging in suppressing free speech on issues such as COVID-19 vaccines and the 2020 election. The Fifth Circuit order keeps in place barred contact by some agencies like the CDC, FBI, and Department of Justice.
Michael Burham was finally taken into custody at gunpoint by state police on Saturday night, concluding a massive 9-day manhunt. After an extensive search by several state, federal, and local agencies, he was detained by the United States Marshal Service on a federal warrant for unlawful flight to avoid prosecution. Burham is currently being held at the Erie County Prison. Investigators are still looking into his escape from the Warren County Jail.
A fair deal. That's what the Teamsters say they want in a new contract with United Parcel Service as they prepare for a possible walkout. Members of a local Teamsters union rallied in New York Saturday. The Teamsters Union, which represents UPS drivers, sorters, and other workers, say they're looking for better working conditions, such as air-conditioned trucks and better pay for part-time workers. Union leaders are taking offense at the company's negotiation stance, and they fear for how a possible strike may affect the national economy.
This negotiations, they came up with the whole video presentation again about how much money they're making because of your blood and sweat. And the last couple of days, they had alligator arms.
If UPS chooses to strike themselves because they're greedy and they're loyal to Wall Street, not Main Street, they will throw this country into a recession.
O'Brien says UPS moves 6% of U.S. goods through the supply chain. If UPS workers do strike, it would become the largest single employer walkout in U.S. history.
That doesn't sound good at all.
No. Okay, coming up on the second half of the newscast, we'll check out the parade and other festivities from the Flamingo Festival in Southwest Harbor over the weekend.
Plus, we'll check out a group of local triplets who are also bandmates. That and more as Good Morning Maine continues.
Wow, with fuel prices quickly rising and no end in sight, isn't it time to give Black's Heat Pumps a call? Did you know heat pumps could save you up to 50% on your heating bill? Our experts can handle all your commercial and residential work and provide you with quality installation, repair, and maintenance. Give us a call today for a free estimate. Our #1 priority is to save you money and keep you comfortable all year long. Get the service you deserve. Find us at blacksheatpumps.com and on Facebook.
Tesoro Italian Restaurant serves Bangor's best pizza, pasta, and sandwiches. Located in downtown Bangor across from the library. Open Tuesday through Saturday, 3 to 9, and Sunday, 3 to 8. The bar is also open 9 to 1 Friday and Saturday night. Come in and taste what everybody's talking about.
We started Fairway Auto Sales because it was a dream of mine to have my own place. I'd worked for dealerships for over 20 years. My wife, Nicole, encouraged me to go out on my own. At Fairway, you're going to get an honest transaction from start to finish.
When you come to Fairway Auto Sales, you should expect to be greeted by the owners. We'll take you out on the lot. We're going to look at each vehicle and see which one fits you and your family. We like to say, come buy your vehicle the Fairway. It's more than just a tagline. It's the way we do business.
Steeped in history, packed with breathtaking views, and flush with charm. It's time you spend a day by the bay in Bucksport and Fort Knox. Travel up Route 1 and make a left to Fort Knox and explore Maine's largest historic fort. Take a ride to the sky in the tallest public bridge observatory in the world, and then head over the bridge and take another left to Bucksport for a stroll on the Riverwalk. Eat, shop, and top off the day with ice cream. It's 2 lefts that make it right to spend a day by the bay. Visit Bucksport and Fort Knox.
A texting driver hit me, and the insurance company only offered me this tiny check.
Don't take a tiny check from the insurance company.
Lowry & Associates got me over $350,000.
Call the twos. We win for you.
Call 222-2222.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back, everyone. Today is Monday, July 17th, 2023. Today is also National Lottery Day.
In 1985, Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont were the first states to combine resources in order to create bigger jackpots. Our flagship game, Tri-State Megabucks, continues today. And if you're feeling lucky, just remember that these days, the odds are reportedly 350 billion to 1. So maybe buy a couple if you do.
Yeah. I don't know about that. I guess it's a huge old, was it, I don't know.
Not for the Tri-State one, but for the national one.
What's the big one they have?
Megabucks? I don't know.
No, there's another one.
Mega Millions?
Powerball, that's it. I think it's like over 500 million now or something like that.
Right.
So that would be nice.
If I buy anything, I'll buy scratchers here and there. I don't really buy those.
I never win anything. Every now and then I'll buy one, but very rarely.
Today's National Lottery Day.
Maybe I'll go buy
the tides have turned.
Yeah. We could hope. All right. On this day in history, back in 1954, the construction of Disneyland commences in Anaheim, California. And just 1 year later on this day, Disneyland televised its grand opening. In 1975, there was an historic handshake in space with Apollo 18 and the Soviet Soyuz 19 making contact between the two entities in space for the first time. Now it's your turn.
Okay. And in 1984, the United States passed the National Minimum Drinking Age Act, prohibiting those under 21 from buying or possessing alcohol. And for birthdays today, we have country singer Luke Bryan. He's 46 today. Actor David Hasselhoff is 71. And singer Kali Uchis is 29 today. Happy birthday to them.
Of course, they had to use a shirtless picture for
that
David
wasn't
Hasselhoff,
the one that
too.
I saved for David Hasselhoff. So our production team went in and purposely changed
They
that.
find their own,
Yes.
kind of like that funny Elon Musk one we had a few weeks ago.
Right,
so,
right.
I kind of like their versions better. But
I do too, absolutely. I leave it up to them.
Happy birthday to all of them.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, talking about the weather, before we talk about the weather, I saw something which is a first on the coming across our wires today from the Department of Marine Resources. They were giving out advice on how to avoid shark attacks in southern Maine. That's something we haven't even talked about really before. There have been a few close calls, and one person was killed by a great white down in southern Maine a year or so ago. So it's something to keep in mind. I'm sure we'll be hearing about that over the days ahead. But shark attacks.
I know.
That's something, you guys talk about spiders and things like that. For me, it's sharks. I don't want to get eaten by a shark.
I know. Well, you'll go out in a sea kayak.
I
do not bother with that. Yeah. Kayaking in lakes and ponds, sure.
Yeah. I've been like a mile off the coast before, and I'll hear something splash behind me.
Nope.
And I just pray it's a seal or something like that.
I'm going to nope out of there.
Not your deal, huh?
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get it, though. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Yep.
Until you hear things splash around you, then it's,
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the weather. More chances of rain on the way. Not a washout by any means, but just kind of typical Maine weather for this summer.
At least it's a Monday, I guess.
It feels like it too, huh?
Yeah. Here's Devin Biggs with the forecast.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Monday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Scott's Recreation, New England's largest trailer dealer, home of Maine's lowest camper and tractor prices, with locations in Turner, Manchester, Herman, and Orono, Maine. Let's get into things this morning. A small crowd advisory remains posted until 11 a.m. One of the few advisories still in effect, though. We had some flood alerts low along the coast and pretty much across the state yesterday and early this morning. Those have since been dropped, so now we're just watching some wave height issues that'll drop later this morning. We do have areas of dense fog developing out there this morning near Waterville and areas to the south and west. Bar Harbor noticing some fog as well, so keep that in mind. You will encounter some areas of dense fog as you do make that morning commute, but otherwise so. Here is the rain tracking from the southwest going to the north and east. No lightning with it, just some heavy downpours at times. The coverage is starting to back off, so as the day progresses on, we'll calm down. The sun may also come out for a while, but then a slight chance for a few afternoon storms cannot be ruled out either. Let's zoom things out and give you the bigger picture. Nothing too crazy going on otherwise. With that line of storms going over the ocean now, we have the rain going over us, and again, just a slight chance for a storm again later this afternoon. So Futurecast helping to show things clearing out. A little pop-up chance there. And then partly cloudy later on tonight with areas of dense fog on the way. It looks to be rather widespread, so we may have to watch that closely. But our early forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, decreasing clouds for a while. Pop-up shower or storm can't be ruled out in the afternoon either. Temperatures in the 80s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma.
All right, thank you, Devin. Well, Mainers dressed in pink flocked to Southwest Harbor on Saturday for the return of the annual festival there.
Our David Ledford brings us a closer look at the celebration.
It brings everyone together. It's one of those fun community events that people plan their vacations around.
The Southwest Harbor Flamingo Festival kicked off Saturday with a flamingo parade. Hundreds of parade goers lined the streets dressed in pink to welcome a variety of floats highlighting the celebration. Organizers say the event helps to support the community.
It's a fundraiser for Harbor House, which is the community center for Southwest Harbor and Tremont. So all of the proceeds go to support the programs that Harbor House does, and childcare and free after-school care.
After the parade, festivities continued with vendors, food, and bounce houses. Those who came out shared how they felt about the festival.
It's great. I look forward to it every summer. I actually enjoy this more than the 4th of July.
Unexpected, awesome, and can't wait to come again next year.
The festival dates back more than 20 years when the town's polo and yacht club used flamingos as a mascot for their cocktail party fundraisers. Because of the popularity of the mascot, the Harbor House decided to reach out to the creator of the pink flamingo lawn ornament, Don Featherstone.
The creator of the pink flamingo lawn ornament lived in Massachusetts. The executive director at the time found out that he lived in Massachusetts. He told them, invited him basically to come to be the grand marshal of the festival, and the flamingo theme just stuck.
While there are always flamingos, the theme of the festival changes every year. This year, the theme is peace, love, and flamingos, and some dressed up to fit that theme.
It's kind of a funny festival, considering it's flamingos, in the state of Maine, but it's a good time.
I love the theme this year, peace, love, flamingos, and we need a little more of all of that in our lives right now.
The festival will continue with a number of family-friendly activities, live music, and more. In Southwest Harbor, David Ledford, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Boy, it looks like a ton of fun. They had a lot of people down there,
That's a great turnout. Yeah, good for them. All right, still to come here this morning, Ryan Sudol will have our weekend sports recap full of highlights from the Lobster Bowl.
Don't go away.
The Lucerne Inn and Ryan's Pub is world-renowned for beautiful dining with a delicious view, featuring award-winning dishes from their executive chef, Arturo Montes. It's a true destination dining experience. Relax and unwind in an intimate space with your loved ones, family, and friends. We are pet-friendly, so your furry friends are always welcome to join you at your table on the deck, whether it's a special occasion or any occasion. The Lucerne Inn is the perfect choice for your business or family gathering.
Welcome to Bennett's Gems and Jewelry in Belfast. With beautifully crafted gemstone jewelry you'll be proud to own or give as a gift. See why our longtime customers call Bennett's their favorite gift store, with an irresistible selection of genuine Maine tourmaline, fine jewelry, and gemstone giftware. Bennett's Gems also pays cash for your old gold and silver. Open till 6 every day, even Sunday. Bennett's Gems and Jewelry is on Route 1 in Belfast, next to Perry's Nut House. Look for our famous pink dinosaur and prepare to be delighted.
Make your waterfront even more fun and more functional than it already is. Take it to the next level with a Shoremaster Premium Dock System from Hammond Lumber Company.
Hey everybody, Ryan Sudol here. Thank you so much for joining us. The 33rd annual Main Shrine Lobster Bowl Classic was Saturday, and it was a huge success. Off the field, over $235,000 were raised for Shriners Hospitals for Children, and on the field, another great battle between the best seniors from the East and West. To Lewiston's Don Rue Field we go. Early in the game, East on the move. Oxford Hills quarterback Eli Soren threading the needle to Eli Bigelow for the touchdown, 7-0 East. Second quarter, East up 7-3. It's Eli to Eli again. Watch this beautiful touchdown catch in the back of the end zone, 14-3 East. Late in the quarter, guess who? It's Soren again. A 5-yard touchdown run. Extra point makes it 21-6 East on top. Final seconds of the half, the West's Mike Lewinsky, a 37-yard field goal attempt, just ekes over the crossbar. He had 3 in the half, 21-9 East at the half. Scoreless third quarter, to the fourth we go. West trying to come back. Jalen Jackson tosses this one to the corner, caught by Nick Laughlin. Touchdown West, it's 21-16. Later on, Jackson again, corner again, Laughlin again, touchdown again. But the East would hang on. They win it 28-23. Game MVPs from each side, Nick Laughlin from the West and Eli Soren from the East.
All but fun. This cause, it's great. I can't thank my teammates enough. I can't put it in words. It's so nice. I mean, MVP doesn't mean anything. This game, winning it with all the boys, to me, it's been a great week, and it's just awesome.
And we had a great week. Never done something like this, just 3 days or 3 times a day practicing, going hard, and meeting all these new guys, great athletes, and just great people around the state.
Congratulations to all involved there. Now let's go to Maine men's basketball and an update on a Black Bear living out a childhood dream in his home country of Canada. Rising junior guard and Nova Scotia native Kellen Tynes is currently playing for Canada's under-13 national team at the Global Jam Tournament in Toronto. Canada won their opener against Team Africa Wednesday, then lost to Team USA the next night. But no matter how well the team performs, Tynes is honored to be repping his country and a region where not many players have come from.
It's hard to put into words because, growing up as a kid, you dream about playing for Team Canada. Not too many people where I'm from have done it. There's obviously been some people that played Team Canada from Nova Scotia, but there's not a whole lot from Nova Scotia and the East Coast in general. So, I'm definitely really blessed and fortunate to be part of the 12 that was selected for this team.
And Tynes also sees this tournament as an opportunity to hone his game and bring what he learns to Orono very soon. From the more physical nature of these games to the more advanced schemes on both sides of the ball, these could be real assets to the Black Bears as a whole.
Just seeing things from a different, perspective physically, I think that'll help us be a tougher team and more gritty team. And I feel like just in a short time being here, I've learned so much, just looking to take all that back, everything I've learned, playing the ball screens, different defensive concepts, just kind of thinking more critically.
Okay, now to some more basketball news. High school basketball coaches from Maine and well beyond gathering at the Holiday Inn by the Bay in Portland this weekend for an annual summit. The National High School Basketball Coaches Association holding its annual meeting here in Maine this year. There are coaches from 40 different states on hand. The goal is to discuss the many different issues and concerns that happen throughout the season, along with fresh new ideas to enhance the great game of basketball.
We want to elevate the game as well as we can, but we also want to put some fun back in the game so the kids are playing the game for the enjoyment of playing the game of basketball.
And finally, how about some cross-country news for you? UMaine men's and women's cross-country announced their schedule of 6 meets for this fall, including a huge one at the end of the season. Let's check those out. Starting on September 1st, hosting Army up at Penobscot Valley Country Club, and then the John McNichols Invitational at Indiana State University on the 16th, followed by the Battle in Beantown Invitational at BC the 29th. The next day, September 30th, will be the main state meet in Bangor, where the Black Bears B teams will race. On October 13th, they'll head to the Bronx for the IC4A ECAC Championships. Finally, on October 27th, will be the America East Championships, which will be hosted by UMaine, that also taking place at the Penobscot Valley Country Club. That's all the time we have for sports. I'm Ryan Sudol. We'll be back right after the break.
General Rental Center has been serving Central Maine for more than 30 years with an extensive inventory, including mini track loaders with attachments, full-size track skid steer, track loader and backhoe, wheel loader with attachments, a 50-foot towable aerial lift, and a 45-foot self-propelled four-wheel drive lift. If you can't find it on our website, we can find it for you. Call for multi-day and weekend special rates.
Hi, I'm Alice Seeger. Welcome to Belfast Fiber Arts. We provide hand-woven, hand-spun, knitted and quilted, upcycled clothes and art items for your home. We also feature weaving looms, spinning wheels, and supplies. We are a weaving studio and a makerspace with a sewing lab and a textile research library. We offer classes, workshops, and study groups. So stop by and visit us at Belfast Fiber Arts. We're at 171 High Street in Belfast, between the Colonial Theatre and the Beanbag Store. We look forward to seeing you.
Hi folks, this is Barry Gass of Gass Horse Supply and Western Wear in Orono. We've been in business since 1911, and our third-generation family-owned business can't wait to show you our unique line of Western wear and Western tack. We have Western boots, shirts, hats, belts, and buckles for the entire family, and Western tack from bridles to saddles and everything in between for your horse.
Gass Horse Supply and Western Wear, where the American West comes alive in Maine.
The Writers Guild strike is now joined in by the Screen Actors Guild and walking out on productions. And actors are doing their star turns with picket signs. The two labor groups are now joined up in demonstrations on sidewalks in front of studios and getting honks from passing cars in support. Actors lend a more known face to the two unions' joint purpose of fighting for control of artistic creativity, and newer technology such as streaming services and artificial intelligence are affecting what the two groups are demanding a say in, they say, to protect their futures.
We won in 1960 was our health and pension plans and the existence of residuals. That was the most important negotiation in LA union history. And now we're on strike together again. And honestly, this strike is even bigger because SAG and AFTRA have since merged. And so now, you know, we in a sense have three unions on strike together.
One of the things that I took away from yesterday's meeting that really struck me was the part about AI. When I started doing film and TV, I went in and started doing background. And one of the things they spoke about was that they were going to pay a background actor for one day work and then use their likeness in perpetuity, like forever, without paying them. And I'm like, that is not okay.
Well, about 65,000 actors union members have now formally joined the Writers on Strike. Productions that require scripted content are now shut down. until any agreements are reached.
This is kind of a big deal. I mean, if you were expecting one of your favorite shows to come out this fall or later on this year, that may not happen.
You may not see it.
Yep. And it's kind of crazy, too, that the actors have joined the writers.
Yep, they're supporting them because they can't do their thing without the writers.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep, good point. All right, in other news now, a Central Maine band has been recently gaining traction from their unique sound. Our Devin Dagnall sat in on one of their rehearsals to check out the Triple Threat.
Random Ideas is a three-piece punk rock band that's been together since, well, before they were born. The band is comprised solely of the Johnson sisters, who are triplets.
We always knew we wanted to be in a band, like from
7?
The first
Yeah,
thing
we
that
were
we can remember, yeah. And we all like gravitated towards the instruments that we wanted to, so it worked out.
Random Ideas music can be described as political activism with an emphasis on female empowerment. The Johnsons say their work is heavily influenced by classic punk rock and groups like Green Day.
Punk rock especially kind of had that, you know, this is what we stand for, this is what we're about, and you know, here it is.
The Johnsons say even though some sibling bickering can happen, being a band of triplets has its advantages.
Honestly, it does have a physiological, effect, especially in harmonies.
Along with being audibly in tune with one another, the Johnsons say they're mentally synced in a way most people just wouldn't understand. Even though they're still finding their audience, these sisters have big plans for their band.
We want to take the band as far as it will go.
Random Ideas hopes they can go on tour in the near future, but until then, they remain undeterred, waiting for their big break.
You know, if you have any ideas, don't be afraid to pursue them.
You have to follow your passion. Otherwise, this wouldn't exist in the first place.
In Waterville, Devin Dagnall, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Random Ideas music is available to stream and download on iTunes and Spotify. Good luck to them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, now let's switch gears and talk about the weather. It may be another wash today. I know yesterday certainly was.
Yeah, shouldn't have quite as much rain as yesterday, but there will be a chance for rain today and thunderstorms. Seems like every day we had a chance of thunderstorms later on in the day.
Yeah, if you got to go back to work on this Monday, I'd say that's okay for a Monday.
Yeah, you're not missing much.
Right. Here's Devin Biggs with the forecast.
Alrighty, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Scott's Recreation, New England's largest trailer dealer, home of Maine's lowest camper and tractor prices. With locations in Turner, Manchester, Herman, and Orono, Maine. Alrighty, here we go. Small craft advisories. The only advisory we have our eye on, at least at this point, though, the flood alerts, though, that are up across a good part of the state have since been dropped as of 6 a.m. this morning. So things are improving in that department. The wave heights will start to improve as well. Here's some areas of dense fog that's developed out there this morning near Bar Harbor, to Rockland, and areas to the north and west of that. So pretty much the western parts of Maine and even further off towards the south and east, and kind of hit and miss, are noticing some areas of dense fog this morning. So keep that in mind as you make that morning commute. But otherwise, though, some showers developing out there still. Some decent rainfall last night and early this morning. Now we're starting to back that off. No lightning with it, though. There's some rainfall, and now that's starting to back off. The sun will come out for a while. Then a pop-up shower or storm cannot be ruled out during the afternoon period. Here's the cold front right here, tracking off to the east, taking the clouds away with it. A little bit more activity out toward the west. I'll take a bit to get here, though, but again, a pop-up shower or storm cannot be ruled out during the afternoon period. So futurecast for today as we move forward, things start to clear out of here. Here's a pop-up shower or storm chance. Then it starts to back off later on tonight. Partly cloudy tonight with some areas of dense fog on the way. Then that gets out of here. Then some clouds moving again and scattered showers and storms in a few parts of the state during the afternoon period, especially in the northern parts. Then the southeastern parts of the state can see a little bit as well as we head towards early Wednesday morning. As for the rainfall, nothing impressive throughout the daytime period today. It will be very hit and miss at best, so less than a tenth of an inch for some areas that might notice a little bit of rain. And throughout the rest of the week as well, not as much rain on the way, so definitely looking like it'll be a little bit drier, especially after all the rain that we've seen rather recently. Otherwise, so dew points still remain rather high, lower 70s on the way for dew points, at least for parts of the daytime period today. But notice, so starting to back off a bit, at least through Thursday, then rising again as we head towards Friday and also in your Saturday. So your forecast for today, partly cloudy, a pop-up thunderstorm cannot be ruled out with highs in the mid-80s and south wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. By tonight, though, mid-60s, partly cloudy, areas of dense fog on the way with the wind overall looking nice and calm. For tomorrow, mostly cloudy. Chances for thunderstorms exist with highs in the lower 80s as south wind getting up to around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Scott's Recreation extended forecast. There are some chances for storms Tuesday and Wednesday. We're dry Thursday with highs in the lower 80s and a partly cloudy sky. More chances for storms on Friday with highs in the upper 70s.
You don't need a time machine to go back 550 million years. Just visit the Harrigan Learning Center and Museum in Milo, and you'll experience an unforgettable trip through time with exhibits, specimens, and artifacts going as far back as 550 million years. Each room is filled with displays and incredible information. You'll even be greeted by a dinosaur. But don't worry, it's robotic. The Harrigan Learning Center and Museum in Milo, a must-see experience.
We were on the Christmas storm. We had just fixed 2 broken lines. We heard screaming coming from across the road.
I was so scared that I was going to lose him. He's the apple of my eye.
Nancy said that Kai was choking, and so I gave him a good hard hit in between his shoulder blades and saw something come out of his mouth, so I knew that was a good sign.
If Dana wasn't here, I don't know what I'd done. He just showed up out of the blue, saved his life.
Let's go meet some people. Come on.
We come up to visit family. This was my first chance to get away from everybody and go to Rennie's by myself, so I got what I wanted. My placemats,
braided rug,
and my coasters to match.
Great.
Very popular item.
And then my favorite, the chocolate-covered blueberries. Everything I got, I'm pretty sure is all from Maine.
Rennie's, a Maine adventure.
Harris Lumber is locally owned and has been serving the Pequot region for more than 50 years. See them for all your projects, big or small. Customer service is their #1 priority. And with a full line of lumber and hardware items, they can also deliver to your job site. Harris Lumber, Milo.
Tonight,
Shoe set up.
It's guess big or go home.
Somebody had to go. You're shady as hell.
Can you guess who's related to who on an all-new Claim to Fame? Tonight on ABC.
Basketball fans may soon have a new way to experience their favorite teams in action. A report from the New York Post says the NBA is working on a plan to collaborate with Apple and its Vision Pro headsets, which are expected to launch in 2024 for almost $3,500. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver did not give specifics on what talks between the league and Apple included, but Silver says several tech and media companies have expressed interest about premium live sports. Sounds kind of interesting. I have a feeling you'll be able to sit in your chair, put on those goggles, and it'll be just like you're right there at the game.
I know. Give it a few years, and it may not be $3,500 or whatever you said.
Yeah, it's crazy enough right now, but like anything, it'll come down.
Yeah, seems like it. All right, it looks like we're about out of time for now. If you missed anything, head to foxbangor.com.
We will continue broadcasting on Fox 22 throughout the morning, but if you're heading out for the day, we hope you have a great day.